Hello, I'm Brigantia Blackbird of the Blackbird Grimoire. Welcome to the daily forecast for Wednesday, August 21st, 2024. It is the day of the teacher's sage, Mercury's day, and Odin's day. It is the 31st of Leo, the 17th of Hazel, the 31st of Salmon, and the 25th of Hayanir, which is the haymaking month. In our astrology, we have the sun in Leo, fixed fire, representing achievement. The moon is third quarter Pisces, mutable water, representing dreaming. At 4:54 p.m. Central Time, the moon goes void, of course, and then at 6:22 p.m. Central Time, the moon moves into third quarter Aries, cardinal fire, representing assertiveness. Mercury is retrograding in Leo, fixed fire, representing fragile relationships. Venus is in Virgo, mutable earth, representing perfectionism. Mars is in Gemini, mutable air, which is to be pugnacious. Jupiter is in Gemini, mutable air, representing questing. Saturn is retrograding in Pisces, mutable water, which is to redefine dreams. Uranus is in Taurus, fixed earth, representing renovations. Neptune is retrograding in Pisces, mutable water, representing spiritual awakenings. And Pluto is retrograding in Aquarius, fixed air, which means we need to examine intentions. So for the retrogrades, for Mercury, reevaluate communication patterns. For Saturn, reclaim your authority. For Neptune, reclaim faith, joy, magic, and imagination. For Pluto, reclaim your ability to regenerate. And for Chiron, restore the heroic spirit. On the moon phase, we are in the waning gibbous stage of things, which means it is the time to absorb revelations. We're getting into a much more meditative kind of mood. And then for the Aries moon, some of your do's are courage, decisions, promotion, and the don'ts are conflict resolution, tasks that require patience, and try to avoid the sharp objects. So, on this day of Mercury, despite it being a day of communication, perhaps today is actually not the day to discuss relationship issues with your loved one. Mercury retrograde in Leo has already given us a heightened sense of vulnerability with regard to our relationships, and then combined with the fact that everyone's communication skills are just a bit off at the moment. And then you have the Aries moon, which is not noted for diplomacy or sensitivity. That just creates an atmosphere that is not conducive for dealing with any delicate matters. Table it for the moment. Wait until things are a little bit more conducive for those types of discussions. For the tarot of the day, we have the Queen of Cups. Queens represent extroverted intuition. The Suit of Cups is the emotional feminine, receptive energy, water element, and the heart. And her keywords are tender-hearted mother, inclusive, caring, housewife, compassion toward all beings, psychic, intuitive, kind in general. So focus your sensitivities today towards discerning other people's needs and doing it in an unobtrusive way. Because again, with the Mercury retrograde in Leo and that causing, issues, and the Aries moon, just this is probably going to be more of a day of observation and maybe quietly accommodating people rather than being more overt. So that's just something to bear in mind. For today's Celtic triad, it reads, 3 felicities of a wise person, kindly soil, a dedicated mate, and a law-abiding child. So if you're a wise person, hopefully you have planted your home on soil that actually is conducive for growth. And, good soil turns into good harvest. So whether you have a large operation like an actual proper farm, or, you're growing some vegetables and fruits in the garden, either way, you are setting yourself up so that you are able to sustain yourself and your household. And then a dedicated mate. If you marry wisely, you have married someone who is inclined to being dedicated to you and to the relationship, and vice versa. And being able to rely upon your partner in life is invaluable. I mean, when do you see, marriages really break down? What are the kind of couples that you look at them and you're thinking they are not on a good road, and they do not have unlimited time or unlimited chances to sort that out. It's always the people who have become disconnected from one another, who have fallen out of sync, who are not operating as a team, who do not share the same priorities, who do not have the same vision for their life. And we can talk about who's right, who's wrong, who should mature and who should do this, and how some people give up too soon and all that, and all of those are perfectly valid discussions to have. But as a functional matter of reality, if you see people who Okay, I think the video's back now. If you have people who have fallen so far out of sync with one another that they can no longer operate as actual functional spouses, they are on the road to separation. So in wisdom, we want to try to, first marry someone with whom we can work together as a team with. And also, when you do run into the inevitable bumps in the road, try to reaffirm your commitment to them, to the marriage, and try to bring yourselves back into alignment. Of course, they have to cooperate with that. And if they're not, then, that is a matter of concern. But as long as people are willing to make that effort, I think there's every chance of success. And then finally, for the law-abiding child. If you are a wise person, you did not raise a completely unprincipled, uncivilized little hellion and then thrust them upon an unsuspecting society. That's not a very neighborly thing to do, and wise people do not do that. To the best of their ability, they try to instill good principles in their children. They try to teach them right from wrong, not only as a mindset, but as practical behavior. Someone who is upright, conscientious, a child that's a good citizen, that is a great success to the parents. And it's just as vital to the interest of the child that the parents make every effort to do their best to teach them something worthwhile so that the child can be successful. Then for today's magical correspondences, they are focused on the idea of power, specifically heightening power. For this, we have the color yellow, the plant is the hibiscus, the animal is the goldfinch, and the crystal is citrine. If you feel your energy begins to waning, and if you do, this is not a criticism upon you. There's a lot of things that are just sucking the life out of us. So if you are in this boat, you can use your skills to give yourself a boost. Now, you might think, oh, but I'll be expending more magical energy trying to get myself that boost. Perhaps at first, but you are drawing in other energies to you. It could be something as simple as going to your Lowe's, Home Depot, or any place local to you where they sell plants. There's probably a bunch of hibiscuses that are currently on sale, and you don't have to get a yellow one, although I think if you did, it would give you a little bit of an advantage. You can carry things like citrine in your pocket or have it in a jewel cage around your neck, and you can draw the power from that directly into your system. And as for goldfinches, you can always try attracting them to your yard. You can wear the color yellow. You can surround yourself with the color yellow. You can do things to recharge your own batteries so that as you are bringing yourself back into a better state of health, and hopefully also figuring out how to create more energy shields between yourself and the things that drain you. You can keep yourself going. You are able to more fine tune what you are trying to do. And best of all, you're not having the life sucked out of you anymore. Then for today's practice, incorporate clove, specifically for energy, into your food or drink. If you happen to be having any early fall drinks or food, incorporating a little bit of clove into that, that's an easy way to do this. Clove is actually very compatible with spices like cinnamon and nutmeg and ginger and things of that nature. Allspice is another one. They blend beautifully together. So if it doesn't have clove, you can put a pinch of it in, and it's not going to detract from what you're drinking or eating. And then today's hermetic principle is polarity. Now, with polarity, it's like, the positive and negative sides of a magnet. They are opposite, they are attractive, they are essentially the same kind of energy, they're just at opposite ends from each other. There's a lot of different manifestations of polarity that we see. One way that we see polarity is between night and day, the relationship between those energies. We see polarity between men and women. We are each other's natural complements. We have very complementary energy, when we're not in a toxic tailspin with each other. And those are just a few things to consider, and making use about what is your natural opposite? What can your natural opposite bring to your situation? Can they bring insight to you? And not even necessarily with regards to a person. There can be great benefits if you're studying, for instance, your natal chart, and then looking at what signs are at the opposite of your placements, learning about them that can provide you some insight into the placements that you do have. And it can also give you an idea of the lessons of if someone had essentially the exact opposite of your chart placements, about things they would be able to teach you. Things that you wouldn't necessarily be able to see, but they could, and contemplating that. There's a lot of different directions you could take with this today. Then with today's Witch's Pyramid, we are looking at the east wall. The east wall is associated with the element of air, and of course this goes back to thought. And this does tie back in with the hermetic principle of mentalism as well, because everything does begin with thought. It begins with our ability to call things by their right names, analyze the placement of everything, and then being able to envision what we want to do with this information. Then, just for fun, you might practice writing in a magical. Okay, video's back. You might try practicing writing in a magical script. Theban is very popular for this. That's much more of a little bit more of a ceremonial magician type of thing, but it's still present within the craft because that is one aspect in which we have a shared DNA. And this is something that's really not necessary, but it's just an interesting, cool thing you can do. And some people, they enjoy adding a little bit of mystery to their notes, and so just for fun, try it out, see if you like it. And then for divination, because it is Wednesday, you might do a spread that has to do with being at a crossroads. And I found one for us on Pinterest. It comes to us through Occult Gate. The first card, of course, represents the present. It's down at the bottom. The second card is the crossroads itself. And then you have three spokes going forward. The fourth card represents a choice. The third card represents your most likely choice. And the fifth card represents yet another choice. Then the card behind card 3 is the sixth card, which represents a likely future. And then on the fourth choice side of things, the seventh card represents a future that is likely to occur if you went that direction. And then with the eighth card, that represents another most likely future if you made a different choice. So it gives a person some options. It lets them think about things. And hopefully, if you are facing any kind of major decisions in your life, putting out a spread like this might help clarify your thinking about what you want to do and why you want to do it. Then today for the journal prompt, do you like the options you're getting? The options we have in life, sometimes we are a bit passive about it. Sometimes it is what the situation, circumstances, and other people, it's the options that they are presenting us with. So if we do not like the options that we are getting, it may be time to get more proactive and create options of our own. So, whatever boat you happen to find yourself in today, it might be something to just kind of journal about, write about, just clarify your thinking. And that will do it for today. Have a wonderful day. If you would care to, you are welcome to follow me at Blackbird's. The Blackbird Grimoire appears on both YouTube and Rumble, and the Oaken Elder Witchery is open and welcoming visitors on Gilded. So, link to join that is in the description box. So, hope to hear from you soon in one form or another, and I will see you guys next time. Bye for now.